Welcome back again. We're still diving into the Psychology Today November-December article, and their focal topic this time around for the whole issue. There's always kind of interweaving topics, but perfectionism is the main one. So this and the 3 related videos to follow, I believe 4 in total is what we're doing, are going to be focused on perfectionism articles, which is a really, really, really good topic, plain and simple. So I'm really happy to be talking about these ones, and we're just going to go in a little bit to the short articles that are here, reflect a little bit on the perfectionism discussed. So this will be a continuation. More than likely, you'll be watching this video on probably Wednesday, is my guess. So you'll see this Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, because I will not be posting on Saturday. So anticipate this chunk of videos being all on the same topic, but 4 separate articles. So the first one is an article titled Better Than Perfect, How to Be Excellent, which I think is a very good approach to dealing with perfectionism, is a focus on excellence, which is a very religious topic as well. Christianity focuses a lot on this, actually, which might be surprising to a lot of people. That it's not talked about a lot from a religious perspective, but the ability to be excellent at what you do. And it's not always used in that term. There is that word in the religious context, but a lot of religious people, not just Christians, would also agree with this, that we aim for doing our best and doing things very well regularly. But the general consensus for people who are religious is if you're comparing yourself to a perfect God, you are always aware of your imperfect being. So a lot of the time this topic is going to be easier to grasp for people who are religious, because that's a steady way of being already, is an awareness that you're not perfect and that you can't do things perfectly. So just as an aside in there, and one of the reasons why I think this is interesting, because it will connect for a lot of people on a spiritual level, but just the idea of perfectionism being harmful, but a goal of excellency not being harmful. And they talk about like perfectionism versus excellencism, which I think is more just, hey, they're just having fun with words here. But in the phrasing that I liked is they asked a question of, is it a striving for excellence or something more problematic? So people will label you a perfectionist when you want to do things really, really well. And there is a line between, I have a high standard of performance versus perfectionism. So if I have a high standard of performance and quality, and someone else they're just trying to get by, but they get put on my team or they're working with me, they might feel like I'm trying to be a perfectionist or I'm pushing them to be perfect. It's like, no, I'm pushing you to do an excellent job. And those are different things. Now, of course, how you approach that matters and how you receive that matters. There's a relational component in there too, but excellence and perfection are 2 different things. So I love that this is how this is kicking off. So the article continues to break down differences between perfectionism and excellencism. I don't think I'm going to keep using that word. Perfectionism and a goal of excellence. And so perfectionism by nature is a unrealistic goal, is the argument there, of achieving perfection isn't possible. And some people listening might really disagree with that, and I would challenge you in asking yourself, are you a perfectionist? And not, are you someone who wants to do things very well and has a high standard, like I talked about a moment ago? Are you aiming for perfect as an actual goal, not as a goal post that you're aiming for and trying to get close to, but anything under perfect is not done well? Because I would say I aim to do things perfectly, but I have freedom to not do it perfectly. So just in my workout today, perfectly would have been perfect form, doing every set with every reps that I'm supposed to do, and doing it in my mind properly, including all my rests, like doing everything well. I did not do all those things perfectly today. Failed some reps, could have done better on some form. Took some longer rests, which that's not even that problematic. But I think I did overall an excellent job. And it's working towards a bigger goal at the gym for me with weightlifting. And if I would have aimed for perfection, that would have meant that today was a failed workout. But I actually think it was an excellent workout. And both are true at the same time. I think I did overall an excellent job. And I was not perfect. So both are true, but it's a difference in shifting our mindset towards it. One of the key factors here in this article that I think is really helpful and worth paying attention to is that the studies have found here. This was done at the University of Ottawa. Again, as is the theme with these, they will not actually cite the studies that are done, but whatever. We get the people's names and who's involved, and that works well enough for conversation as opposed to strict academic fact. But the excellism had a positive excellencism. My goodness, that a goal of excellence had a positive association with academic improvement and future achievement, while perfectionism was linked to a decline in achievement. To me, that's not a surprise. They also found that perfectionists can be highly self-critical, with little self-compassion and a lot of self-doubt. That's very true, and in my experience, tapping into perfectionism, that is fully in line with how I have felt criticism and self-doubt. Now, for me, my experience has been more along the lines of I know what I'm capable of, and right now I'm falling short. To this day, I'm less of a perfectionist and more of someone who has to manage what I'm fully capable of with what I'm capable of today. And those are different things. Or I've done this before, that doesn't mean I can do it today, but I can always put in my best on a given day, and having to balance that is more my experience with this as of recording and as of the last couple of years. And they also talk about excellence being correlated with higher life satisfaction, lower depression, as well as greater progress towards one's goals. If that's true, that's fantastic. Lowering depression, higher life satisfaction, and greater progress towards goals. I do believe those all to be true based on anecdotal experience, clinical work that I have done, and other research that I've seen. Again, I would love to get a breakdown on this research, and I might try to seek this out. But it's just really, really cool information and something to bear in mind with how you're setting goals for perfectionism or excellency, and which one's actually serving you better. So the article just kind of goes on to essentially wrap up and encourage people towards a goal of excellency versus a goal of perfection. And I have no reason to disagree with that at all, and would heavily encourage considering that if you struggle with perfectionism. So like with all this, I'll link the Psychology Today info in the description. Not every article I'm talking about is free on their website. Some of them are. But I think being able to talk about this, and I'm all for companies having products that they sell. I struggle with information costing money depending on the format. So no, I'm not just going to read these out for everyone. People worked on this and getting paid for it. But I do want to talk about it and take what I have from it as a way to encourage, not to copy it and paste it into a video, but to discuss my takeaways from it with a couple quotes here and there. So consider excellency if you don't do that already, particularly if you are a perfection-minded person, and consider how just aiming for excellence, not perfection, might benefit you. So come back tomorrow. We'll talk more about the perfectionism topic and knock out a couple more articles as the week continues on. I'll see y'all later. Bye.